everyone, welcome back to FVSD Live. My name's Branwyn and today I'll be talking to you about my mental health issues and how they kind of came about. Just so you know, there's a cat behind me, so if you do see any movement, don't worry. So I'm just gonna jump right in. So with growing up, as a little girl, I was very, very anxious, very nervous about everything. There's quite a lot of baby pictures where I did look really worried for no reason, really. When I was a little girl, my dad walked out. To this day, still don't understand why, and I don't care, to be honest. That broke me because I was a daddy's girl, a daddy's little princess. But yeah, Mum said that completely changed me as well. That made me even more anxious. That made me more anxious for my mum, for my sister, my family. So with primary school, to sum it all up, really, I was bullied most of the time because of me having physical disabilities. So I'd be taken out of class to do my physio. I'd have to wear bright purple splints. I would wear trousers most of the time, but there were days where in the summer I would wear a dress and have to wear these splints. I'll explain next week about the physical disabilities. But yeah, that's another thing that the kids bullied me for. I also had really bad skin, still do. I'll talk about that another day. I have a lazy eye, which kids bullied me about. I also had eczema on my lips, and all of this just really impacted on my mental health negatively. I felt anxious all the time. I wanted to hide under coats. I hid under coats. I hid under a table. Anywhere I could, I would hide. Because it was just horrible. It really was. And I didn't like going to school. I really didn't. It wasn't until the last year I finally told Mum what was going on. She was like, well, it's too late now. You finished school. I was like, yeah, I know. But I feel better now. So with secondary school, I was really excited. I really was. It was a fresh start. No one really knew me. A few days before the actual school year, I got to go there as an induction, and I met a girl who I was told recently was actually my mentor. But the thing is, me and her became such fast friends, and to this day we're still best friends. And so it's incredible. Yeah, so I was bullied a little bit, but it wasn't as major as primary school. It didn't bother me as much because it was mostly about my skin. I would wear makeup sometimes, which made my skin look even worse, which would cause mayhem. And secondary school was more bad mental health, because I kept getting bad diagnoses for myself. I went to a neurologist who pretty much told me, because a load of things wrong with my brain, I was at risk of death. I was at risk of a stroke at an early age. If I was in a car accident, that could leave me paralysed from the neck down. So many things that I was told in one day just rocked my world, and this just really impacted on me mentally. It really did. It made me more depressed. I also saw a doctor at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in London to see if I could have an operation on my ankles to make the exercises easier for me. They said there was a risk that would cause more harm than good, if that makes any sense. I did have an eye operation in secondary school, but the thing is I was off because of how red my eyes were. So I was teased a little bit, but it didn't bother me as much. I did have friends, which was brilliant. So from a young age, I've always been known to have some form of panic attack of some kind. So there was a time, I can't remember if I was in secondary school or primary school, if it was in college. I'd say probably secondary school, college time. I was going to I think it's my brother's wedding, and I was at the station, and the train that pulled in, I didn't think it was my train because I thought it was just going to go straight to my station, and that caused me to panic. And when I say panic, I was running up and down the station, but the platform, panicking, screaming at people, saying, "What's going on? Where's my train?" And it wasn't until, and apparently I actually did fall to the ground crying because I was really, really shaking. I didn't know what to do. And so, yeah, that was one of my panic attacks. But that train was going to where I was going. So once I calmed down, Mum actually had to explain it to me. But there's been so many times that these sort of things have happened to me that would cause me to panic. If the bus was running late, even by a few minutes, that would cause me to panic. But with college, I was excited again. As you can guess, no uniform, wear makeup if you wanted to. It was brilliant, fresh start again. I made some more friends with the first year of college. It's brilliant. I did that course brilliantly. It's all easy going, kind of. But with the second year, I did have to have loads of tests for epilepsy, which did also affect my mental health, because I kept saying to the doctor, "I'm really sure I don't have it," and Mum said she was sure I didn't have it, and the doctor was like, "I know, but I need to have these tests." And these tests were so intense that it just caused me to get more anxious. It caused me to become more depressed. And with secondary school, I did actually get diagnosed with anxiety and depression when I got a diagnosis of my brain, so which was brilliant. Well, not really, but I was put on medication, which made things a bit easier. Yeah. So throughout my entire life, I know I've just said about college, but just give me a second. Throughout my entire life, I've actually had counselling, which didn't really work for me, but I did like having someone to talk to. I had 2 loads of CBT, which was fantastic. I made goals. It helped that I was talking to someone, and during CBT, I was diagnosed with insomnia and chronic fatigue. Didn't think that you could get both at the same time, but apparently you can. So with the last year of college, though, that was really, really, really draining for me, and made me even more depressed, because I kept being off because I was having so many operations and hospital appointments. When I say operations, they weren't as bad as what I just said, as me just saying I've been poked and prodded. I really wasn't. I had another operation on my eye, which made things even more worse, which made me feel like I wasn't being listened to by doctors. I had 2 operations on my foot. So that affected my attendance with college, which caused me to fall behind. But thankfully, thanks to the staff, I was able, and to some of the students, I was able to catch up with the college work and pass, barely, but it was brilliant. I still passed, which is fantastic. So my entire life, I've been known to have panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and just anything slightly stressful, it will cause me to just go off the deep end. So I went to a concert with one of my best friends recently, to see Little Mix. Love them so much. And the thing is, because I've always thought that with hotels, you're supposed to check in at dead on that time. And because of that, I was panicking. I was like, no, we gotta go again. No, God, go now. Like, no, we're fine. And so, also the night of the concert, which was fantastic. But the thing is, with the night of the concert, because it took us ages to go through the security check-in, I was like, it's going to start without us. We're not going to watch it. We're going to be really late, aren't we? She's like, no, we're not. This is why I wanted us to leave early, so we could get through the security. And it was brilliant. But yeah. So with one of my best friends, she's actually seen me at my worst with mental health wise. I don't know how she still wants to be my best friend, but she does. I must be doing something good, or well, we're both bonkers anyway, so we're kind of a match made in crazy world, I guess. So but yeah, I with anxieties, I've always had them. I know I have. Very recently, I've been more and more anxious about my mother's health, more anxious about my own health. Obviously, with the pandemic, it's been more, well, for everyone, it's impacted on their mental health. I've been more anxious, I've been more depressed. Because obviously with the situation with the doctors, I feel like there's no one to talk to. But there is. Because of the very first lockdown, people were panic buying, and that caused me to panic. And so literally like 2 or 3 days after people were panic buying, I walked to the shops with a friend of mine, and there was nothing on the shelf, which caused me to panic. I was like, we're gonna literally live off pasta and flour. She's like, no, you won't. Just come back in a week and it will all be fine. I was like, I don't think so. It's like, just come back. And she was right. It was all absolutely fine. It was all perfectly fine. So yeah, I haven't been able to see my family for almost over 2 years, which is really upsetting. But we do still talk every week. I haven't been able to see my friends as much because one of them is a NHS worker in the hospital, and also with lockdown and stuff, I haven't been able to, well, you know, because of social bubbles and stuff, and obviously all the rules. But yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say for today, because yeah, so I just wanted to wrap it up by saying stay safe. And next week I'll be talking about my physical disabilities and how I cope and how I manage day-to-day life. And yeah, stay safe, everyone.